bring you his newest one. So, without further ado, Names by Tom MacDonald.
They gon' try to call you names, label you with things till you're ashamed. You're a sexist or a racist, white supremacist or gay. They'll attack your reputation, claim that you're the one to blame, and try to make you hate yourself for...
Well, if we're going off the name alone, there's some names for you. And in today's day and age, these are very, very common. Being a straight white male automatically makes me transphobic or homophobic because I date women. It's not that I have anything against anyone at all or any lifestyle at all. It's simply the fact that I strictly date women makes me homophobic and transphobic, which is ridiculous. I'm not.
Ways that you behave, they're just names. Embrace them and they'll never cause you pain. They're just words that another person thought up in their brain. They're just names. They do not define you, that's insane. And they'll just call you something different if you change.
They'll just call you something different if you change. And that's true. The more you try to conform to social norms, the more obvious it becomes that you are strictly changing to conform to social norms. It has nothing to do with who you are at that point, because if you're constantly wavering, then you don't stand for anything. Just be yourself and be happy with who you are. This one here, stupid. I don't like inane put downs. The only counter argument to this that I would have is, instead of calling someone stupid, point out like the flaws in their logic, or offer constructive criticism on ways that they could correct their lack of aptitude on whatever topic it is. If you're discussing astrophysics, maybe recommend some books that they could read to become better informed on astrophysics, for instance. Don't just call them stupid. You're not doing anyone or yourself any favors by downplaying someone else, when really you could be lifting them up simply by saying, hey, try this.
Call me racist, I don't make no BLM donations. I can stand with black folks without a branded corporation. All this systemic prejudice, if you live in this nation, you privileged, black or Caucasian. Call me...
And the funny thing about that is, most of the donations that you make towards charitable organizations don't even go to those charitable organizations.
Transphobic, but I support you in your policies. I just can't ignore the very basics of biology. All I see is men and women trying to live in harmony, not 100 genders that you wanna be. Call me snow.
There's men and there's women. Now, you, be who you want to be. That's fine. But don't try and convince me that it's a new gender. Not hating on anyone, am I? I'm not talking negatively about anyone. Just understand, you can be who and whatever you want. As long as you understand that underneath all of that, you're either a guy or a girl. It's my opinion, don't come for me. Just saying.
Flake, cause I'm offended, I ain't stone-faced. Social justice warriors destroying us with woke ways. Mad because they voted for the POTUS with the most hate.
See, the biggest difference between a social justice warrior and a social justice activist is that a social justice activist will see a building without a wheelchair ramp, and so they'll go and they'll get the permit and they'll get the building material and they'll build a ramp, because that is how you truly fix a problem. A social justice warrior will stand and scream at the building for being against the handicap, but they won't actually do anything to change it. It'll just make them feel better to yell at the building.
Man, I miss the old days. Call me loser, call me bigot, call me stupid, call me bitter, call me ugly, call me cracker, call me doucher, call me triggered. You can call me what you want, cause at the end of the day, man, they're just names. Go ahead and call us names, dog. Do your thing. We ain't tripping cause we heard it all before. Give a damn about the names, dog.
little bit of humor for y'all really quick. I was asked one time to make a joke in front of some people that I used to associate with, and my mind went completely blank, and the only thing I could come up with was, I feel like a cannibal every time I eat a cracker.
Gotta call you names, label you with things till you're ashamed. Repeat it till you really start believing what they say. They gon' stamp it on your forehead and scream it till you break. They love to say they woke, they not awake. They're just names, afraid of anyone who ain't the same.
Calling yourself woke and not being awake. That's a great line, great run there. But it's so true. You know, the late George Carlin once said that the reason they call it the American dream is because you have to be asleep to believe it. It's true. It's true. Don't be woke, just be yourself. People like you a lot more for who you are than who you pretend to be.
So they classify your thoughts as controversial, not okay. Then they cancel you till everything you have all gets erased. They trying to tell the world you bad, they're just names. Call me conservative or liberal, Republican or Democrat. I'm somewhere in the middle, but y'all don't know what to do with that. The system got you so obsessed with classifying right or left. You never call a person human, call them names instead. Call me
right down the middle. You know, the very definition of critical thinking is to be able to view two opposing viewpoints and come to a central logical conclusion. And that's what he's talking about. You know, I don't agree with all leftist politics, just as I don't agree with all right politics. But at the end of the day, I make my own conclusions and I come to make my own decisions, and I'm satisfied with my life and the conclusions I've come to. And it doesn't have to be everybody's viewpoint in order to be valid. It just has to make sense to me. And if somebody comes along and teaches me something different that makes sense to me, then yeah, I may change my viewpoint. You know, but, you know, just because, you know, this guy comes on the news and says, you know, green lollipops are bad, it doesn't mean I'm going to stop eating green lollipops. It just means that I'm going to look into green lollipops to see what could possibly be bad about them, come to my own conclusion, and maybe I'll still eat green lollipops. Who knows?
Sexist. Men run the world because they're aggressive, but behind every man there's a woman just as successful. We will never be equal in every way, that ain't helpful. Our differences are why we're great together.
This right here, there's a lot of single, independent, strong women who would be just as capable of running this country, if not more so, than what we've got running it right now. And the sad fact is, it is a good old boys club from the ground up in Washington. And as much as I would love to see a woman in office, just out of sheer spite at this point, I don't know how long it's going to take for that to happen. I don't think Hillary's the right choice, but I think we should get another woman that's willing to run, and have her give those guys a challenge. Because I think that if the right woman were to run and win, this country would probably see a lot of change, hopefully. So.
Call me white devil, I know you think the system favors me. My privilege is residual benefits from the slavery. Subconscious prejudice embedded in the system made for me. Don't mean I never struggled to survive, I guess we ain't agree. Ignorant and jaded, call me dumb, uneducated. Call me idiot or redneck or delusional or crazy. Call me anything society has taught you to say. Cause at the end of the day, they're just names. Go ahead and call us names, dog, do your thing. We ain't tripping cause we heard it all before. Give a damn about the names, dog, we feel no pain. Your words ain't gonna hurt us anymore. Go ahead and call us names, dog, do your thing. Y'all are tripping, but I hope you find the Lord. Give a damn about the names, dog, we feel no shame. Call us anything you want, I'm getting bored.
Another thing to take into consideration in all of this is that, as he's about to introduce, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. There's something to be said for that expression. It's become a lost art. We've become very, very sensitive, and everything offends us, and everything hurts our feelings, and honestly, it doesn't have to. We don't need to let it hurt our feelings. You know, we're losing touch with reality by making reality such a hyper-focused issue. You know, we're afraid to hurt feelings. We're afraid to say things anymore. We're afraid to be ourselves because maybe they won't like us if we say this. And frankly, at least on this channel, whoever you are, whatever you want to be, I love you no matter what. I care about you, and I want to see you succeed. My whole goal in this channel has been to bring encouragement to anybody. Speak up, say what you want. You know, I do the best I can to respond to everybody, because I know at the end of the day, someone out there needs to hear that they are loved and that they are not alone. And so if you are afraid that what you have to say is going to be perceived as politically incorrect or hurt someone's feelings, do it here. Because this audience, from what I've seen so far, nobody's going to have their feelings hurt. I'm not.
Sticks and your stones might break my bones, but your words don't hurt. So give me your worst. Stupid loser, ugly poser, moron, liar, crazy loner. Go ahead and call us names, dog. Do your thing. We ain't tripping cause we heard it all before. Give a damn about the names, dog. We feel no pain. Your words ain't gonna hurt us anymore. Go ahead and call us names, dog. Do your thing. Y'all ain't tripping, but I hope you find the Lord. Give a damn about the names, dog. We feel no shame. Call us anything you want, I'm getting bored.
Shout out to Nova, Jared, and Tom. Great video, great music, great message. Y'all are my family. Don't be afraid to be yourself here. Ain't no one gonna shun you, and if they do, I'll block the comment and kick them out. 'Cause I don't need that kind of hate. Alright guys, till the next one. I love you. I care. You're not alone.